Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about a woman whose brilliant mind helped send astronauts into space. Her name was Katherine Johnson. She was one of the greatest mathematicians of the 20th century. Katherine's story is about curiosity, courage, hard work, and breaking barriers. Let's discover how she changed history and inspired the world. Katherine Johnson was born on August 26, 1918 in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. From the time she was little, she loved numbers. Numbers seemed like friends to her. She counted everything she saw, from steps on the way to school to stars in the night sky. Katherine's parents supported her curiosity. Her father worked as a handyman and farmer, and her mother was a teacher. Together, they made sure Katherine received the best education possible. By the time she was just 10 years old, Katherine was already in high school. Katherine graduated from high school at age 14. She attended West Virginia State College, where she stood out as one of the smartest students. She had teachers who recognized her talent and encouraged her to study math at the highest level. She learned geometry, algebra, and advanced math that many adults find difficult. Her professors saw how quickly she solved problems and how much joy she found in discovering new solutions. At only 18 years old, she graduated with the highest honors. In 1939, Katherine was chosen as one of the first African-American students to attend graduate school at West Virginia University. This was not easy because schools were segregated at that time. Segregation meant black and white students could not learn together in many places. But Katherine believed in her ability. She knew education could open doors for her and others. Even though it was challenging, her courage set an example that helped break down racial barriers in education. After graduate school, Katherine became a teacher. She wanted to share her love of math with young people. But soon she had an opportunity that would change her life and history forever. In 1953, Katherine began working at the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, or NACA. Later, this organization became NASA. At first, she was part of a group called computers. These were women who did calculations by hand, long before electronic computers were common. Katherine's skills quickly stood out. She had a special way of solving problems and explaining answers so that others could understand. Engineers trusted her work. She helped calculate flight paths for airplanes and spacecraft. Her math was so accurate that astronauts and scientists relied on her calculations for their safety. Katherine worked on the equations that made sure a spacecraft could launch, orbit Earth, and return safely. She turned complicated math into a language that could guide space travel. In 1962, astronaut John Glenn prepared to orbit Earth. Computers had been used to calculate his flight path. But computers were still new and sometimes made mistakes. John Glenn famously said, "Get the girl to check the numbers." He was talking about Katherine. He trusted her calculations more than the machine. Katherine reviewed all the numbers by hand. Once she confirmed them, John Glenn launched into orbit and returned safely. This moment showed the world how important Katherine's work was. Katherine did not stop there. She also worked on the Apollo missions, which aimed to land astronauts on the moon. Her math helped guide Apollo 11 in 1969 when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin took their famous steps on the moon. She also helped create backup plans in case things went wrong. Her calculations gave astronauts and NASA confidence that their missions could succeed. She used math to solve problems before they became disasters. Katherine worked at NASA for more than 30 years. She retired in 1986, but her influence never faded. For many years, her work was not widely known outside of NASA. In 2015, President Barack Obama awarded her the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States. Her story reached millions through the book and movie Hidden Figures. Katherine's role reminded the world that African-American women played key parts in shaping science and history. Katherine Johnson passed away on February 24, 2020 at the age of 101. She lived a long and meaningful life. She showed children everywhere, especially girls and African-American students, that they could succeed in math, science, and any dream they set their minds to. She broke barriers of race and gender. She proved that brilliance has no boundaries. Katherine Johnson remains a shining example of how one person's mind can take humanity